Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Breakfast with Ben. Today, we have a very special guest ahead of their November 16th performance at the Knick. One of the special guests of the Knickerbocker All Stars is with us today. A piano virtuoso who's been playing professionally since he was 13 years old. Arthur Migliazza, how are you?
Hey, Ben. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. And I'm excited because later in the episode, you're going to play some music for us, which is just a whole different treat. So tell me a little bit about yourself and for anybody who might not know.
So we actually just moved to Westerly, my wife and I, and we have two kids, a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old. And we just moved here a year and a half ago from New York City, where I was finishing up a doctorate in physical therapy. So now I'm a physical therapist. I work at Westerly Hospital, outpatient clinic, and I do that during the week. And then I still perform 2 or 3 times a month. I just got back from doing 6 shows in Arizona. So before going back to school for PT, I was a professional musician for 30 years, believe it or not. And so yeah, that's now I got the best of both
Which is
worlds.
crazy because you're 24. I'm kidding.
Yeah, that's what I tell myself all the time. How is this
But
possible?
you are very young for being a professional musician for 30 years.
Well, like you said, I started when I was 13. So
Yeah.
And actually I started in Tucson, Arizona. So it was somewhat of a fun
That's awesome.
Fun little tour I just did where I got to see a lot of people who had seen me play since I was 13.
How have you liked Westerly and what's been the vibe here?
Oh man, the Westerly is don't even get me started. It's the perfect place on earth. We love it here. It's like it's got everything we've ever wanted in a town, and we kind of found it just by almost dumb luck. My wife was a very successful producer of an off-Broadway show in New York City that ran for 6 years before COVID shut down everything. It was called The Imbible. It was a history of alcohol. It was a musical comedy, and during that the pandemic, her business partner moved up to Mystic, and so we would come to visit. And whenever we were here, we didn't want to go back to New York City. And we were like, because we were thinking, like, where do we want to move? We were looking at different towns and things, but it was whenever we were up here, we just did not want to go back. And our friends in Mystic said, you know what, you should check out Westerly, because if we had known, we probably would have moved to Westerly because it's even better than Mystic. So then my wife started looking for jobs as I was finishing up school, and she found that the Granite Theater was hiring an artistic director. So she applied, and with her incredible resume, they hired her right away, and she started commuting up here. And then finally, when I finished, we bought a house up here, and the timing was right and everything, and we got the house we wanted, and we moved up here. And it has been nothing but awesome. We love it. From everything from being 10 minutes from the beach to the town is amazing. There's so much talent here. It's crazy. And the Pops concert, they've got the chorus, you've got the United Theater, you've got the Knickerbocker, 90 years old, actually played at the 90th birthday celebration of the Knickerbocker.
It was a great night. I was there for that. That was wonderful. Was that your first time joining the Knick All Stars?
Yes, it was. Yep. JP, who was kind of their manager, producer, he had been on my mailing list actually for years. And I had looked back and found an email in 2017 where he tried to get me up to play at the Knick, but it just didn't work out. And so then when he found out I was moving here, he was like, oh my God, you got to come and like play with the All Stars. So man, and that band is amazing. It's awesome. You got world-class players, and they come right down here to Westerly and play at a world-class club. It's just amazing. Plus there's Italians everywhere, and Soupy is awesome. And I walk, just down the street to go to work, and it's amazing. I love it here.
I think people they come for the beaches, they stay for the Soupy. Um, and yeah, so well, let's talk about that because you've been a professional musician for 30 years
Yeah.
and you've played everywhere. You've gone on tours, you've done all sorts of things. Obviously a lifetime in New York. Um how special is the Nick as a venue and with the history of it and all of the great blues musicians that have come through and played on that stage and obviously Roomful of Blues founded in
Yeah.
that room.
Yeah.
um there's just so much history,
It's
and that's probably like when you're moving to a small town from New York City, you're probably not expecting to come across so much history. And
no, it's so much of everything that's amazing and perfect in the world in one town. I was not expecting. Like, I didn't even know Roomful of Blues got their start here. I didn't
yeah,
know there was a huge blues scene here with blues on the beach every week in the summer. I didn't know that there were so many talented musicians around here. I had no idea. So like we had already bought the house and moved up here, and then I found out basically all this other stuff, and I was like, oh my god, it's amazing. I love it here. Love it. I'm like the biggest cheerleader everywhere I go. I'm like Westerly. But don't move here. Like, I don't want a lot of people to move here.
yeah. Come visit, but don't stay.
Oh,
I like that. So you yeah, it's lovely, and downtown has something special.
yeah.
And the fact that it's a minute away from the beach and from like normal areas and whatever, but that High Street, Canal Street area
It's
is
awesome.
actually starting right at the Granite Theater on Broad Street,
Mhm.
like all the way over to Canal to the train station is
Yeah.
like my creative partner Dave and I we lived in New York for a little bit for theater school,
Oh, cool.
and when we came home,
Yeah.
what's it you can
What school did you go to?
the AMDA, the American Musical
That's where
Dramatic
my wife
Academy.
went.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, she graduated from AMDA.
All right.
Yeah, that's graduation.
We were. Did she get the speech on the first day about all of the more famous people that left AMDA than than the ones that had graduated?
Did you get a speech about the uh, all the famous people that left AMDA rather than the ones who graduated? Oh, she does. She doesn't
Nope.
remember
All
that
right.
speech.
All right. All right. All right. Yeah,
When
we got
when were you there, Ben? What year?
oh 06, 06, 07.
06, 07? Okay.
Yeah.
When were you there? She, oh, she graduated 05. So just before.
All right. All right.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow.
That's awesome. Well, then you guys got something
Um.
out there.
All right, Nicole. We'll have to talk about that when you come on the show. So
But yeah,
so
compared to New York, like this, it's a short walk. It's an easy walk, and you get so much awesome stuff through from the granite all the way to the train station, like you said.
and when you and like we moved back here and we immediately got an office space across from Perks and Corks,
Okay.
and it was the right level of like, okay, there's like life to the
Hmm.
town, and there's like
Yeah.
like it scratched that itch
Yeah.
that we got when we moved back from New York
Yeah.
to home. But
Yeah.
anyway, regardless of those two things, let's talk about the Granite Theater because I know that you've done work there. Obviously, your wife.
Yeah.
Do you like what do you as a musician? What are your favorite things to perform? Do you like doing the things like the Knick All Stars? Do you like doing your solo stuff? Do you like being a part of a theatrical production? Like, what's your favorite genre to play?
My so I really like doing solo stuff, and I have a whole like solo show where I go through the history of boogie woogie with songs, and I sing, and I tell stories about the players, and really kind of educate the audience in a fun and entertaining way about where the music came from. Um, but if I'm gonna play with other people, like by now, they have to be really good for me to like want to do it
Yeah.
because I've definitely put in my time playing with like every band, you know. Um, and so the Knick All Stars are like the top of the line. I love it. I love playing with those guys, and it's such a big band. There's like there's nine people in the band, and so not everyone can make every gig. So there's like a rotating cast of people who are available. So I'm meeting so many good musicians around here.
Was that a fear when you were moving out of New York City that you wouldn't be I mean, obviously, you love doing it solo, but was it that camaraderie of a community? Was that something that you were worried about moving out of the city that you would lack that?
No, because I hadn't had it really in New York for a while. Because I was for the last 3 years, basically, or actually 5 years leading up to us moving here, I I was mostly doing solo stuff, and I was mostly not playing in New York. Like I'd go out on the road all the time by myself,
Yeah.
and um, and so I hadn't been playing with bands, and I hadn't had that kind of camaraderie. Really, it had been probably 2015 since the last time I was involved with bands that I really enjoyed playing with. Um, so yeah, so it was unexpected. And then when I started doing it, I realized how much I had missed it, you know, that I didn't realize that I was kind of missing that.
Yeah.
So it was really good. It's like, and everybody's been so welcoming. It just feels like, since this is my genre, like boogie and blues, it feels like they, I feel very accepted out here, and included in things. So that was like a really unexpected, huge 1,000% bonus from me already being happy being here.
What got you into music? Because to start playing professionally at 13 years old, I mean, there's
Yeah.
like what got you into it at such a young age, and then furthermore to take that and go, I'm gonna make this a life.
Yeah, there weren't any musicians in my house, in my immediate family that I grew up with, and so looking back, to me, it was obvious I was interested in music. Like I would take out pots and pans and try to make rhythms in different like tones and things, and like as a regular way of playing. Like, and and they got me a little toy piano. I'd be on it a lot, and I was always interested in listening to music. And so finally, it just happened to be I was at someone's house. My mom was visiting, and they had a piano. I was 9, and I was playing, like kind of just like chromatic little things, and for quite a while. And the guy who owned the house said, that's not normal for a kid to come over who doesn't know how to play and just like try to pick out things. So maybe you should try piano lessons. You might like it. And so I got started with piano lessons, and my piano teacher introduced me to a lot of different styles. One of them was the blues. So I was really lucky in that regard. And she's like, there was something about the left hand would play like a repeating thing in this little piece she had me learn. And then the right hand had the chords. And so it was like, that just made sense to me that the left hand should do a job. And then on top of that, you can be creative. Like the left hand, when it plays its repeating pattern, even to this day, it's just in my mind, it makes this picture of a blank canvas. And then the right hand adds like all the painting and stuff. And so, and there's also something about the blues. So I started listening to blues piano, and there was something about those old recordings that just drew me in, and I became kind of obsessed with it. My piano teacher got me hooked up with a blues player in the area. This was in Washington, D.C., where I was born, and then it just went from there. She started showing me left hands and different left hand patterns, different right hand licks, and in the first 6 months, she led a jam session at a local bar, and with really good players. Actually, they're like world famous people come down there, which I didn't know at the time. But in my first jam session, there was actually Phil Wiggins, who was awarded like the boy, I hope I don't mess this up. Something through the Smithsonian Folkways, like he was recognized as a national treasure for his harmonica playing. But he was on stage the first time I ever played, and we became friends after that. But yeah, I was really lucky to be brought. Once I got into that scene, and they saw that a kid was interested, like a 10-year-old wanted to play blues. I had a lot of mentors along the way, and none of them read music. I wasn't taught by reading sheet music. I was taught by here's you want to copy it, and then gradually I kind of understood shapes, the hand shapes. When I got into high school, I took theory lessons, jazz and stuff like that, and so now I still I can't read very well. It's like much faster for me to hear it and then play something.
This is going to be the silliest thing that anybody could say to you after that beautiful story.
Sorry.
But
Too long. That was too
no,
long.
no. Have you ever seen Dewey Cox Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story
No.
with John C. Riley? It's like oh man. There's a
Did I see it? Is that a good one?
it's a comedy, like it's a parody of like Walk Hard, of Walk the Line.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, and
It's called
and
Walk Hard.
yeah, it's called Walk Hard. It's from like 07 or 08. It's a ridiculous movie, but John C. Riley as a child walks in to a blues bar,
Yeah.
or something, and these guys are playing guitar, and they're like, what does a 10-year-old know about the blues? And they
Yeah.
hand him a guitar, and he just kind of does it, and it's very like obviously it's a comedy, but
Yeah.
that reminded me of that, because like that really happened to you. What does a 10-year-old know about the well, hold on.
Right.
um
Yeah.
I love it. So okay, this is what I want to do, because we're gonna change your setup a little bit and get the keyboard and stuff going. So I just wanted to say this before, because I want you to I'm gonna just hand it over to you after the commercial and have you take it away.
Okay.
November 16th at the Knickerbocker All Stars. How many times have you played with them now? You're not are you a regular member of the band now, or you're still an addition, right?
I'm the regular guy.
Okay.
I think, as far as I know. They usually uh, they they'll usually call me, but I really, right now with the kids and my job,
Yeah.
I don't really want to travel more than an hour to play the show, because it's like a 2.5 or 3 hour show, and you got to get there 2 hours early, and it takes at least an hour and a half to get. And so it's like I can't commit to that sort of time. So I mostly do the shows that are in the Westerly, within an hour of Westerly.
Well, we are very fortunate that you are now a member of the Knickerbocker All Stars, and I can't wait to see you again on November 16th. I've gotten to see you play with them several times. For the first time at the 90th celebration of the Knick, which was a sold out house. And I think that people should get tickets and go and click the link in the description to get tickets to that. And is there anything else that you want to plug right now before we go to a commercial and come back with music?
I do want to say Knickerbocker All Stars is always a good time. It's always a good time, and there's always a lot of people dancing. If you like dancing, it's the perfect band. I do have a solo show the week before at the Kate in Old Saybrook.
I love the Kate.
It's a beautiful venue, and so it'll be my first time doing a solo show like that far away in Connecticut from here. So I'm looking forward to that. If you guys want to come down, if we don't see you there, we'll see you at the Knick for sure.
Yeah, do it. The Kate is a short drive, and it's one of the best venues. It's in such a beautiful little area too. Like, go check out the Kate, guys. Go check out Arthur at the Kate. All right, we're going to take a quick break with a message from one of our sponsors, and we'll be back with Arthur playing some music for us.
Hi, this is Dan from Lathrop Insurance. In this challenging insurance environment, Lathrop Insurance can be your beacon in the storm. to help you find the coverage you need at the right price. Now, more than ever, you need a partner in the insurance industry that can work with multiple carriers to make sure you have the right coverage at the right price. Lathrop Insurance carries home, auto, and business insurance and can be reached at 401-596-2525. We've been supporting the local community since 1939, and we look forward to working with you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Arthur Migliazza. Do you want to get your business in front of over 100,000 viewers every month? Advertise with 321 and enjoy the best value in local advertising while supporting free community live streams. Your message will be seen across live high school sports, morning shows, and local events, connecting you directly with engaged audiences, boosting your visibility, growing your brand, and helping us keep these broadcasts accessible to everyone for free. Partner with 321 today and watch your business thrive.